Hello students, welcome to the English class. As you all know that we have already started with the explanation of chapter 5 from Flamingo Indigo. I have already provided two PPT video where I have given a detailed explanation about the author Louis Fisher, about the overview of the story. In my next PPT video I have given an explanation about the characters and the theme of the story. Right? So from today onwards, we will be starting with the line-wise explanation of the chapter. If you have the book in front of you, please open it up. Okay, we will start with the explanation of the chapter. Right? Okay, Indigo by Louis Fisher. About the author, I have already told you in my first PPT video of Indigo, where it was said that Louis Fisher was born in Philadelphia. He made a career as a journalist and he became quite renowned in that field, though he started his career as a school teacher. Later in the 1940s, he visited India and he got the chance of meeting with Gandhiji as he went to his ashram. He not only met with Gandhi, but he also met with some other eminent Indian freedom fighters also. And that inspired him to write a biography of Gandhi, which was known as A Life of Mahatma Gandhi, right? A Life of Mahatma Gandhi was considered as one of the best books ever written on Gandhi. Even by Times Educational Supplement also it was very much appreciated, isn't it? Okay, an interesting fact for you all to know is that in 1982, Richard Attenborough had directed a movie known as Gandhi, okay, where Ben Kingsley had played the title role, played as Gandhi, okay, and that film somewhere was based on this particular biography of Mahatma Gandhi, the life of Mahatma Gandhi, okay. If you want to know about this, or if you want to understand this chapter more thoroughly, then I would recommend you all to watch that 1982 movie Gandhi. Well, in your classroom I will also upload that particular part, okay, this particular part, the chapter, the extract, because Life of Mahatma Gandhi, that particular biography has been made about the entire event of Mahatma Gandhi's career as a freedom fighter, okay, but in our syllabus we have only a small part from that biography about the Champaran Satyagraha. So in this classroom I am going to I will of course share that particular video of the Champaran Satyagraha, which was taken from Life of Mahatma Gandhi, okay, or from that movie The Gandhi, okay. So please watch that particular part specially, okay, that will make you understand this chapter very nicely, right students? Okay, so let's start with the explanation. Okay, when I first visited Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, "I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917. Okay, so here Louis Fisher, as I have already told you, had come to India in 1942. He visited Gandhi, first visited Gandhi, as it is being mentioned here, first visited Gandhi in 1942 in his ashram at Sevagram. Okay, and there Gandhi starts narrating the incident which made him decide to spur the exit of the British from India. Okay, the incident occurred in when? 1917. He had gone to the December 1916 annual convention of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. During the proceedings, Gandhi recounted, "A peasant came up to me looking like any other peasant in India, poor and emaciated, and said, 'I am Rajkumar Shukla.'" So what happened? Gandhi had gone to the December 1916 annual session of the Indian National Congress Party in Lucknow, and there a very poor and emaciated peasant, that is Rajkumar Shukla, approached Gandhi there. Okay, so what is said here? Gandhi, now in this particular Lucknow session, what is said, 2301 delegates attended this particular session, and many visitors had also come. In fact, 1916 Lucknow session is considered to be a very important historical Indian National Congress session in the history of India. Okay, so here Gandhi says that it was during this time when a peasant came up to me looking like any other peasant in India. What is said here? Poor and emaciated. Okay, so there came a peasant. He was very much poor, just like any other Indian farmers. Okay, very poor, and he came to Gandhi. He approached Gandhi with some of his problem. Okay, and he told that he was his name was Rajkumar Shukla. Okay, now what is the meaning of this term? Emaciated. Emaciated means someone who is abnormally thin or weak. Emaciated means thin or weak. Okay, so please write it down. Okay, emaciated means thin or weak, as someone who is abnormally thin or weak, especially because of illness or lack of food. Okay, that is the reason. Okay. So this peasant came, this farmer came and told Gandhi, introduced himself to Gandhi as Rajkumar Shukla, and told that he has come from where? From Champaran, and I want you to come to my district. And what was his main demand from Gandhi? That he wanted that Gandhi should visit to his district in Champaran. Gandhi had never heard of the place. It was in the foothills of the towering Himalayas near the kingdom of Nepal. So Gandhi had never heard about this Champaran. Okay, he doesn't know where this Champaran is. So where is Champaran? Champaran is near the kingdom of Nepal. It is in the foothills of the towering Himalayas. Towering means tall. Okay, the great Himalayas. Under an ancient arrangement, the Champaran peasants were sharecroppers. Rajkumar Shukla was one of them. Now, here Gandhi was told that due to some ancient arrangement. Ancient arrangement here means it was already decided. Okay, like many years ago, very many years ago, it was already decided that the farmers of this Champaran district, they will be sharecroppers. Okay, now here is one line given, a word given, sharecroppers. Who are sharecroppers? Sharecroppers are actually tenant farmers. What are they? They are tenant farmers. Okay, please write it down. Okay, sharecroppers are tenant farmers, right, who give up a part of each crop as rent. Like suppose if I own a land, okay, and I have employed some farmers under my land. Okay, now these farmers are my hired farmers, so they are tenant to me. Now they will cultivate my land, okay, and in return what they will do is that they are going to pay me the rent. Now how are they going to pay the rent to me? Either by cash or by crop. Now here what happened, here when I say sharecroppers, here it means that they are going to pay the rent as crops. Right. So many years ago, the Champaran farmers were decided that they will be sharecroppers. Now Rajkumar Shukla was one of them, one of the sharecroppers. He was illiterate but resolute. He had come to the Congress session to complain about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, and somebody had probably said, speak to Gandhi. Now he doesn't know who is Gandhi. Okay, now remember one thing you all should know. I have already told in my PPT presentation also that Gandhi, after completing his studies in India, he went to London to have his further studies in law. Now, when he was certified as a lawyer by the Bar Council of London, he went directly where? To South Africa. Okay, there he practiced himself as a law. He returned to India, it was only in the year 1915, and this incident happened in 1916, just 1 year later. Okay, so Gandhi was not yet popular at that time. He just joined Indian National Congress, but he was not politically involved at that time because he wanted to know about Indian situation more and more. Then he would join in the politics. In fact, in 1915, when he came to India, we already know that Gandhiji's Satyagraha movement in South Africa became very, very popular and very successful. So one of the Indian nationalists at that time asked Gandhi that why don't you start Satyagraha movement in India? And Gandhi told that it is not possible in India. It would take at least 5 more years, okay, to start Satyagraha movement in India. But Gandhiji's this word predicted to be false. Why? Because in 1915 he returned, and it was in 1917 only when he had to start Satyagraha movement in Champaran. And who was this persuader? Of course, Rajkumar Shukla. Okay, so here it is said that Rajkumar Shukla was very illiterate but very resolute. Okay, so he said that he have to go. He complained to Gandhi about the landlord system in Bihar. Okay, about the injustice that these British landlords were doing upon the Indian farmers. So when he came to the Congress session, he asked one of the Congress leader that I want some justice. Okay, from the congressmen, because they are fighting for the freedom of the India, and they are saying that they want the British means justice to the poor people from the British hand. So he came, of course, dreaming that these people might help him. So some maybe one of the congressmen had told that, why don't you go and speak to Gandhi? Gandhi told Shukla he had an appointment in Kanpur and was also committed to go to other parts of India. Now Gandhi did not take Shukla seriously, or he did not even respond to Shukla immediately. The main reason was what? Because Shukla was illiterate. Okay, Shukla was not able to say properly what exactly was the problem of the sharecroppers. He only said that the British landlords were doing some injustice to the Indian farmers. But what exactly was the problem, Shukla could not identify, and Gandhi could not say anything. Now what is said here, Gandhi told Shukla he had an appointment in where? Kanpur. Where is Kanpur? Kanpur is actually Kanpur. Okay, now in British India, usually the British used to call Kanpur as Kanpur. Okay, right. So Gandhi told Shukla that he had an appointment in Kanpur, and then he had to go other parts of India. Shukla accompanied him everywhere. Shukla was a very tenacious old man. Okay, so he accompanied wherever Gandhi went. Shukla accompanied him. Then Gandhi returned to his ashram near Sabarmati. Shukla followed him to the ashram. For weeks he never left Gandhi's side. So what happened? Wherever Gandhi went, Shukla also followed him. Okay, now Gandhi was very impressed by this tenacity and agreed to accompany this thing. Okay, so where Gandhi went to various places, Shukla went there, and Gandhi followed to his ashram also. Okay, now for many weeks Shukla did not leave Gandhi's side. So at last he went on to beg. Okay, fix a date. He begged. So Shukla begged to Gandhi that please fix a date. Say which date you want to go. Impressed by the sharecroppers' tenacity and story, Gandhi said, I have to be in Calcutta on such and such date. Come and meet me and take me from there. So why was Gandhi impressed? Gandhi was impressed by the sharecroppers' tenacity, means Shukla's tenacity. Okay, the way Shukla was determined to take Gandhi with him. Okay, so Gandhi was very much happy with this tenacity of Shukla, okay, with this determination of Shukla, and so he said that, okay, I have to be in Calcutta on such and such date, so why don't you come and take me from there. Months passed. Shukla was sitting on his haunches at the appointed spot in Calcutta when Gandhi arrived. He waited till Gandhi was free. So many months passed, and on that particular appointed day when Gandhi was to be in Calcutta, Shukla also went there. Okay, and he sat there on his haunches. Okay, haunches means he sat there with his knees close to his chest, right? So, and he waited there till Gandhi was over with all his meetings and sessions. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. There Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad, who later became president of the Congress Party of India. So what happened then, after that they boarded a train and they left for Patna. Okay, there Shukla went to a particular lawyer's house. His name was Rajendra Prasad. Now we already know who is Dr. Rajendra Prasad, isn't it? Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of India, and he was also one of the president of the Indian National Congress. But during that time he was a young lawyer. Okay, he was a very young lawyer of Bihar. Okay, he did not achieve much reputation. He only came from a very well established house. His parents were very well known family. In his family was a well known family in Bihar. Okay, so he has acquired the lawyer certificate, and he was practicing law in Bihar, especially staying in Patna. Okay, so Shukla took Gandhiji to this lawyer's house, Rajendra Prasad, okay, who later became president of the Congress party and of India. Rajendra Prasad was out of town, but the servants knew Shukla as a poor yeoman who pestered their master to help the indigo sharecroppers. Now Rajendra Prasad, he was out of town. With some work, he was out of station. But these servants who used to work in Rajendra Prasad's house, they knew Shukla, and they knew that Shukla was a poor yeoman. Yeoman means what? Yeoman means a farmer. Okay, so they knew that Shukla was a poor farmer, and who used to come, pestered means what? Who used to completely come and nag, or we can say completely harass, okay, Rajendra Prasad to help him out. Okay, so they knew that this farmer used to come to their master's house, nagging about the injustice being done upon them, okay, or to help the indigo sharecroppers. So they let him stay on the grounds with his companion Gandhi, whom they took to be another peasant. So what did they do? The servants, they not only made Shukla to sit on the ground outside in the courtyard, but also made Gandhi also sit there. Why? Because they thought that Gandhi also might be another farmer. They didn't know who this Gandhi is. Okay, so Rajendra Prasad knew who Gandhi was. Okay, but these servants, they have no idea who this Gandhi is. Okay, so they thought that Gandhi is another peasant and made him sit along with Shukla on the ground. Okay, but Gandhi was not permitted to draw water from the well lest some drops from his bucket pollute the entire source. How did they know that he was not an untouchable? Now this is very much interesting. These servants did not allow Gandhi to take to draw water from the well, because they thought that if some drops of the water would fall into the well, then the well would become polluted. Why? Because they thought that Gandhi is an untouchable. Okay, they thought that Gandhi is an untouchable, and untouchability practice was very prevalent in India during those days. Okay, so Gandhi sitting there, he was considering the fact that how did the servants know that Gandhi is untouchable? Was Gandhi actually untouchable? Of course not. Gandhi wasn't untouchable. He come from a renowned family. Okay, but these servants thought that Gandhi is an untouchable. So Gandhi thereon sat and was considering the fact, what is the difference between a touchable person and untouchable person? And later on in this particular story only, we will find that how Gandhiji had fought against this untouchability. And we also know what Gandhiji, history says that what Gandhiji has done for this untouchable people, right? Gandhi decided to go first to Muzaffarpur, which was en route to Champaran, to obtain more complete information about conditions than Shukla was capable of imparting. So Gandhi understood that staying in Patna will not do any good, because Rajendra Prasad was not there, and he needed real facts, and it is only some educated people of Bihar could give him. So he thought of going to where? Muzaffarpur. Okay, he went to Muzaffarpur. En route to Champaran means going towards Champaran, they have to cross Muzaffarpur. Okay, now to obtain more complete information about conditions than Shukla was capable of imparting, because of course Shukla was an illiterate person, he could not say it properly. He accordingly sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kripalani of the Arts College of Muzaffarpur, whom he had seen at Tagore Shantiniketan School. So J.B. Kripalani became one of the friend of Gandhi. J.B. Kripalani was once a professor in Shantiniketan. Later on, he got himself transferred to the Arts College of Muzaffarpur. So when he was in Shantiniketan, Gandhi also went there, and there he had a contact with J.B. Kripalani, and then both of them became good friends. Right. So he sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kripalani about his arrival to Muzaffarpur. The train arrived at midnight, 15th April 1917. Kripalani was waiting at the station with a large body of students. Gandhi stayed there for 2 days in the home of Professor Malkani, a teacher in a government school. So what happened? Kripalani, when he got the message that Gandhi was coming, that was on the 15th April 1917. It was the midnight time, okay, when Kripalani with a large body of students were waiting, okay, was waiting at the station, okay, to receive Gandhi. Now there Gandhi stayed in Muzaffarpur. Gandhi stayed for 2 days, and in the house of whom? In the house of Professor Malkani. I have already provided J.B. Kripalani, Professor Malkani's picture along with their character sketch in my PPT video. Please go through it to understand who they were, okay. Okay, Professor Malkani, a teacher in a government school. Now, this is very much important, okay. Teacher in a government school. In those era, government school means what? Schools run by whom? Run by British, okay. During that time, any kind of government office or government school or government colleges were run by British, okay. So here it is said that Professor Malkani also used to work in a government school that was run by the British. Okay. Now Gandhi says it was an extraordinary thing in those days. Gandhi commented, for a government professor to harbor a man like me. In smaller localities, the Indians were afraid to show sympathy for advocates of home rule. Okay. Now Gandhi says, now this is quite extraordinary. Okay. That is to stay. He recalled that his stay in the house of a government servant was an extraordinary thing in those days. Okay. Why it was an extraordinary thing? Because Gandhi was a freedom fighter. He was an advocate of what? Home rule movement. Means those who wanted freedom of India, those who wanted complete independence of India. Okay. Now any government school teacher, okay, harboring a man, harboring means giving shelter to a man who is a freedom fighter, may cost him his service, isn't it? Professor Malkani could have lost his job as a school teacher, right? And so therefore Gandhi says that was Professor Malkani's act was an act of great courage, right? Okay. Students, I have explained today till here. Show sympathy for advocates of home rule. Okay, in my video lecture I will be doing till this much. In my next video lecture I will be starting from the news of Gandhi's advent. Okay, so Gandhi went to Muzaffarpur, and then what happened? How the entire people turned, okay, and went on to support Gandhi, we will see in my next video lecture. I hope you have understood how much I have told you, okay, or how much I have explained you. Please go through the explanation carefully. Go through the video also that I will be uploading for you all, such that you can understand about this Champaran Satyagraha. The entire synopsis of this chapter is given in that video. You please go through it, okay, and still if there is any doubt, please clarify it in the classroom. I hope you all have understood, right? Okay, study well, students. Thank you all.